All right, everyone. Welcome to the stream, guys. You're watching Rome Knows Tech, and I'm your host, Rome Wilkerson. Guys, I'm coming to you from the city of Houston, down here in the ever so hot state of Texas. I want to welcome you all to the stream over on Amazon, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. Welcome, one and all. Feel free to drop your comments down in the comment section and feel at liberty to ask any questions about any of the products that I'm talking about throughout this stream, or even if it's something that you guys have seen before over on my storefront. It's a good chance I have it somewhere here in this studio and I can just reach over and grab it and then answer any questions that you guys may have about it. Of course, we will be doing some demos tonight. We have a laser already set up, ready to go. I have not received any new merchant materials yet, but I do have some wood to work with. So I will be testing out some features of the X-Tool M1 Ultra. So if you guys want to check that out, boom, here it is right here. Check it out, check it out. We will see how we go with the rest of this tonight. All right. And make sure everything is working the way it should be. I see everything is live on all the different platforms. Great, great, great. All right, guys, so it is the weekend. It is Saturday. Right now here in Houston, it is 7:03. So that's a good starting time for us to just jump right into it. And like I said, get started talking about tech, doing the cool things that we do. And yeah, so first item we have listed in the carousel tonight, guys, is going to be the X-Tool M1 Ultra. Now that bundle is $1799.99, and it's going to come with a number of different things. Let me show you guys what you get in the bundle. All right, so here is the laser. As you guys can see, it's on my desk, and here's the desk that it's on. You can see that it does not take up a lot of space on the desk. This guy has a built-in lid that also doubles as your eye protection. It comes with 4 modules. You get a print module, you get a pen module. It comes with a set of pens so that you can draw with this unit as well. And inside, let me show you guys here. You have 2 options when it comes to the laser power of this unit. You can either get this with the 10-watt laser or the 20-watt laser. Now, my variant did come with the 10-watt laser. It also has a cutting module here that you could enter. You can install a cutting blade, and you can use that for cutting things like vinyl. Especially if you're going to be using it for a heat press. You can do leather, paper, all of those kind of things. Really, really well designed piece of kit, guys. So if you are looking for kind of an all-in-one laser kit where you can do pretty much any type of project that you might be interested in. Now, as you guys know, I have been using these lasers probably for the last 3+ years, if not longer. And I have created a ton of things using these lasers. I have used them for my personal business as well. Like, for instance, creating things like these metal business cards. I have created things like, let me show you guys here real quick. So here is an image that I did not too long ago. Now, this is AI generated, but this was printed onto black acrylic. So my photographers out there, my content creators out there, you can pretty much use your imagination as to all the things that you'll be able to do with, a product like this. I even created some things just a couple of nights ago with some yellow acrylic. We did some wood engraving. Star Wars, may the 4th be with you. I see Hope is already over there on YouTube saying hello to everyone. Let me see. Is Hope's chat not showing up? Let me check here. If Hope's chat is not showing up here, let me see why we are not seeing it. Give me a second, Hope. Let me figure out where your chat bubble went. Nope, that's not it. All right, so it should be right there. I don't see Hope's chat bubble. And I was thinking about rearranging some of the images, some of the graphics here in this layout. I'll do that for the next stream. Somebody remind me that I said I was going to make a larger video of myself on the cutaway scenes, and I'll do that a little bit later, probably tonight after the stream. I'm going to move a few things around. Okay, so on our main stream here, I do see Hope's comment. So let me see where that is so I can move it up. Dun, 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 dun. There it is. Okay. So let's see. Let's unlock that. And let's move that a little bit closer up to everyone else's chat right about there. Okay, that's close enough. All right, so we're good to go. All right, so it looks like Hope is the first person in the chat tonight. She is over on YouTube. We don't have anyone in the chat yet here on Amazon, but I'm sure they will be trickling in here in just a while. But let's get right to our first project using the laser. So I think, somebody tell me, what holiday do we have coming up next? Is Father's Day the next holiday, or is there another holiday that we have coming up? Let me know. Let me know. Because you know I don't keep track of that stuff. So, yeah, somebody want to drop that down in the comments. I would be very happy. All right. All right. I just selected Hope's hello, so we should be able to see her now on the screen as well. All right, so like I said, we're going to go ahead and get started with a project tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and open our laser software, and the laser software that we will be using tonight is also from Xtool. This is the Xtool Creator Suite. Now, what's cool about this software, guys, is that this makes it so easy for almost anyone to start creating things. Hope says it's Father's Day. Father's Day is the next holiday that's coming up. All right, Hope, you are probably right. I am not sure, but I guess you're right. Okay, I'm going to take your word for it, Hope. I'm going to take your word for it. All right, so let's pop over here to the desktop real quick. All right, here we go. So you guys can see here some things that I've created before and some other things that other creators have made here. Once you sign up with the software, you'll have access to your own little portal, and you'll be able to go in and find a lot of things that you've created in the past. You can also share this with the community. If you created something specific that you want to share with the community, this is where you would do it. But in this case today, we just want to create a new project. So we're just going to go ahead and click on that. And you guys probably heard that little chirp. That's letting us know that we are connected to our laser. So Hope says it is Father's Day is the next holiday coming up. So let's create something. Let's create something with Father's Day in mind. So let's go ahead and get everything set up here on the laser first. All right, so this is the wood that we're going to be working with. I got a nice piece we can work with here for an even cut. Now this wood is a little bit on the thicker side, so we're definitely going to have to use a little bit more power. But let's just go ahead and map this guy out. I think that's about right about there. So let me go ahead and set everything up. Let's go ahead and create our tool path. And let's go right about down here. And the second one. And then let's move this laser back here. So now we'll be able to measure the thickness of the material. So we're just going to close this like so. And let's go ahead and measure how thick this material is. So right now, you guys are going to see the laser is going to come down. It's going to touch the wood, then it's going to go right back up. All right, so now it's telling me that it is 14.2 millimeters. So that's what we're going to be working with. So let's go back over to the desktop real quick here. And so let's, Father's Day, Father's Day, Father's Day. Okay, we probably have some graphics already on here that are pre-installed. So let's go over to our shapes. And do we have anything for Father's Day? Father's Day, animals, festivals. Let's go over here and look closer at our festivals and see if we have anything that can match up for Father's Day. Not seeing anything in there. What do we have over here? That's some of our templates, applications. Let's go to templates. And let's just do a quick search for something for Father's Day. So we're just going to do let's see here. What can we make for Father's Day? We have so many options, guys. We got so many options. I think I'm just going to do a quick little search here for like a banner or something for Father's Day. And then we'll drag that in here and then we'll create it. We got things for Christmas. We have things for Halloween. We have other little graphics here. But Father's Day seems to be left out. Let's see here. Nope, we don't have anything. And I don't have anything on the computer as of yet. So let's just go ahead and find something for Father's Day. And that's what we'll create. So give me a second. Let's get over to... I see Alan DeBay is in the house. Welcome, Alan DeBay. Welcome to the stream. All right, so we're going to create something for Father's Day tonight, Alan. So let me go over here and find us a nice, cool Father's Day graphic. I really gotta put a keyboard over here on this part of my desk, so I don't have to reach so far to go over to the laptop. And you guys hear me hunting and pecking because I'm so far away from the computer I can't even get to the keys properly. But that's okay. All right, let's see what we got for Father's Day. I see a lot of things, man. I see a lot of things for Father's Day. But I want to go with something simple. I don't want to make it too complex for this little design. So let me look through these real quick and see what we come up with. Father's Day. All right, here's a nice one. Father's Day with a little crown. I like that. Okay. Let's go ahead and save this. And click save. There we go. All right, so let's go back over to our software and let me show you guys what we're working with. All right, so let's go ahead and bring our graphic in. And let me just drag this in real quick. Father's Day, Father's Day. There is our Father's Day graphic. And let's go ahead and save that. And we can close that. All right, let's see what Alan is saying here. Data. What is Alan talking about? Data. What are you talking about? And what are you talking about, Alan? What you talking about, Alan? What you talking about? You're talking about data. Is that data from Star Trek? All right, let's go ahead and make this smaller. And much smaller there. All right, so there's our little graphic. Let's zoom in on that a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit better. And there we go. All right, you guys should be able to see that now. The little crown, the shades, the little diamond over here. Father's Day, happy Father's Day. Okay, so first things first, we got to choose the material we're going to be working with. So we're going to be just working with, I think this is pine wood. No, it's probably basswood. So I'm going to select basswood. It can't be basswood because I see layers. So probably not basswood. But what we are going to do is we're going to cut this out as well. So first, let's look at our engraving power and speed. We're going to bring the engraving up to about 75% just so we have enough power. And then we're going to leave the speed as it is at 130. We're going to do Jarvis is the bitmap mode we're going to use. And then our lines per centimeter, we're going to raise that up a little bit to 120. And then it is bidirectional. Okay, so now what we need to do is to do the offset so we can cut this guy out. And I want to make sure that we only get the outside of it for our cutout. Let's go ahead and confirm that. And then what we need to do is set the power for this as well. So we're going to cut this out. And to cut this out, we need about a speed of 3 and about 4 passes for this wood. So let's just do 4 passes for the wood, and we should be good to go. All right, so we are pretty much ready to rock and roll. Let's go ahead and frame it up to make sure that the laser is going to be going in the right place. So let me switch you guys back over here so you can see what's going on with the laser here. And I'm going to hit the framing. And I'm just going to come over here and hit this silver button again. All right, so it's going to frame it. All right, that looks pretty good. Looks pretty good to me. Let's go ahead and confirm that. And now we're going to get ready to run this job. So I'm going to hit process. And let me show you guys here real quick. Well, I'll just go ahead and start it, and you guys will see once the laser starts. All right, so let me go ahead and hit the start button again. All right, so there we go. It's going to start engraving Father's Day. All right, let me see what Alan is talking about joke-wise. Let me pop back over here into the chat. Give me a second, Alan. Give me a second to catch up with you, bro. All right, so Alan says, not looking forward to Father's Day this year. And Alan says, what does a baby computer call his dad? Data. Data. I get it. Data, my bad. Data, or data. Yeah. All right. So, all right. Thank you, Alan. Thank you for the jokes. You know I love them. Let's see what else we got. Alan says he's not looking forward to Father's Day, unfortunately. All right, so we are rocking right along with our laser engraving project for tonight. This is the first project that we have done tonight. We may be able to fit a few more in as we go. So we'll see how that goes. Let me go ahead and talk about this next item real quick. So the next item that we have listed in the carousel, guys, tonight is going to be our athletic shoe boxes. Now, of course, I don't use them for tennis shoes because I only own 3 pair of shoes. I have 2 pair of boots and 1 pair of jogging shoes. That is it. And I know a lot of guys have multiple pairs of shoes. I'm just not one of those guys. I have a pair of cowboy boots. I have a pair of motorcycle boots. And I have a pair of running, jogging shoes. That's it. And I got some slippers that I wear around the house. So maybe 4. So I guess I could say 4. But I definitely don't have enough that I would put inside of any type of, shoe holders or organizers or anything like that. But I'll show you guys what these do look like. Now, of course, I'm using them for different purposes. I'm actually using these to store things under my desk. So you guys can kind of see under all this chaos and mess down there, I have a bunch of little boxes and bits and bobs, for my cameras, camera accessories, and different type of mounts and things like that inside here. These do have the magnetic doors, so that's really nice. Makes it really easy whenever I need to grab something out of here. I can just reach in and pretty much grab whatever it is that I'm looking for. I keep a lot of stuff inside of these little containers. So if you are like myself trying to get somewhat better organized, this could be a great option for you. Or maybe you just want to use it, solely for your shoes. And if that is you, I do not begrudge you that. If you have, a huge selection of shoes and you want to be able to put them in some kind of little organizing box, hey man, you do you, boo-boo. Y'all know how we do. So definitely check it out. All right, so let's pop over here real quick and see where our laser is. So as you guys can see, we are almost done. We're getting pretty close. Let me see if I can get you guys a little bit closer to the action. You guys can see that possibly. Let me try going in from this angle over here, and maybe you guys can see what the laser's doing. But yeah, this laser is very efficient, very fast. Even for only a 10-watt laser, this is doing an amazing job. Now, of course, like I said before, it does have to cut out what we're going to be working with. So I can see that it's giving us a really deep engraving onto this piece of wood. This substrate is doing, what it's supposed to do. It's a piece of wood. So I'm happy with that. All right, we're pretty close. We're pretty close to completing the engraving, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, let me go back and look at the graphic, and I'll tell you guys how close we are to it. All right, it just needs to engrave the word day, and then it's going to start cutting everything out. So we're pretty close. We're just going to take a few more minutes. So according to the clock here, we have 6 minutes and 39 seconds remaining. You guys should be able to see that right about here where you see this little green cog right here. This gives me the progress, how much time is left. Now, the entire project would have taken, or should have taken, 11 minutes and 29 seconds. We have 6 minutes and a few seconds left. And I have noticed that it has started to cut, so you guys can see what that looks like. Now, like I said, we're going to do 4 passes on this because this wood is very thick. All right. Now, I tell you where I made a mistake here. I did not connect this laser to the air purifier that I have here in the studio. Let me see if I can give you guys a better look at what's going on. There we go. All right. And while that's doing what it's doing, let me also grab a few other things that we can talk about here in just a second. So let me move some of these other things here onto the desk. We have some live streaming gear. I'm just going to move everything over to the desk so we can talk about it here in a second. Alan, when is your next event? Do you have any festivals? Do you have any storytelling festivals or other type of events that you might have coming up soon? Let us know down in the comments. Alan, for those who may not know, Alan is a full-time professional storyteller as well as a comedian, because he drops a lot of dad jokes and jokes in general all the time. You can find him over on YouTube. You can find him on Instagram, Facebook. He's all over on all of the different social media platforms. But definitely check my man Alan out. Alan says there is 2 weeks in Nebraska coming up. 2 weeks in Nebraska. Which one is this, Alan? What type of festival is this going to be? Is this going to be more joke centric, more storytelling centric, more music centric? What do we got going on? Storytelling. Okay. And we are going to a. All right, man. I'm telling you, bro, you are keeping in motion. That's what I say all the time. Stay in motion. Do not let anything hold you back. Stay in motion. Keep creating. Keep doing something every single day. It's a win. It's a win. All right, so let's take a quick look at our laser, and then we're going to pop down here and talk about another product here in a second. All right, so our laser is creating a very clean cut. I think you guys are going to be very impressed with this when you see once it's completed. So while that's doing its thing, let me go ahead and select the next item in the carousel and go ahead and drop to the top-down view so you guys can see this real quick. All right, so we have a number of items right here on the desk from our friends over at Ozbot. Right now, you guys can see we have the Ozbot Talent. The Ozbot Talent is a 4-in-1 streaming, recording, encoding device. You can connect a variety of different things to this. You can connect up to 2 HDMI devices, 1 USB device. This is your 3.0A on this side. On the opposite side here, you have a USB-A 3.0, line in, mic in, headphone jack. Underneath here, you have your 12 volt, 1.5 amp. USB-C. It can also take a full-size SD card. You have an Ethernet connection. You can use this for recording. You can use this for streaming. You can use it for a combination of things. So you can basically do 2 things at one time. So you can encode your recordings and also stream from this device at the same time. Let me just turn it on real quick here so I can show you guys some of the other cool features. So you have a 5.5-inch touchscreen. You can also connect things like cameras. These cameras do come in the bundle. This is a part of the Ozbot Talent and Tail Air bundle. You actually receive 3 of these Tail Airs. Now, these can be used either in a variety of different ways. You can actually use them in their NDI mode. Now that does require an additional license. You can use SRT, which is a lot like NDI. You can also use a USB to connect to this. You also have a micro HDMI that you can use to connect to these. These can record internally 4K up to 60 frames a second. Just place in your little micro SD card right there. And you can plug a microphone directly into these. These do have internal microphones, but if you want to use a wireless microphone or a wired microphone, you do have a 3.5 right here that you can connect to it as well. All right, so this guy is currently connected. Let me see. Let's just put this guy over here, and let's turn it toward the laser. Turn it down there toward the laser, and then I'm just going to scroll over here and switch to that video feed. So guys, you can see right now on the screen, there is the laser as well, and it's coming in wirelessly, okay? Now, there is a remote that comes in the bundle as well. This remote right here will allow you to connect up to 3 cameras. Each camera can have 3 presets. You also have a human tracking, a pet tracking. You have this little laser pointer right here. You have a photo button, video button, you have a power button, and you also have a switch scene button right here. It has a joystick controller. So check this out. So I can actually use this remote to adjust the camera wirelessly, so I can easily zoom in really close on what's going on inside of the laser, so that if I was live streaming this or recording this, I can also have pre-recorded videos to play back through this device onto other platforms. I can set up photo and video scenes where you have a camera and you have maybe a video that you want to play in the background. You have all of those capabilities. This also has a full suite of controls for your audio interface. That means whatever, you know, microphone you have connected to this, any audio coming from saved video files, web files, or anything like that, you'll be able to control the audio from each one of those, including the final output to your live stream. You can actually stream to YouTube, you can stream to Facebook, you can stream to TikTok, you can stream to Twitch. Now, some of these will require that you have access to the stream URL as well as your stream key when you're using the RTMP. But another way that you can configure these is going to be your NDI or your SRT. That's another way you can configure all of these things here. You can also use this as a recorder, as I mentioned before. You can set up a variety of different scenes. Now, one of the things I love about this device, guys, is that you can set up scenes and they will just stay there, okay? So like if I want to stream, say for instance, Instagram or TikTok or something like that, then I would have my portrait scene already pre-set up, and I could just bring in the cameras, I can bring in the video sources, you know, like this, and I could have these guys ready to roll. I have my audio coming in, and then when I'm done with that stream and I want to go back, and maybe, you know, my next stream coming up is going to be, you know, landscape, I can just click on my 16:9. It's just going to bring me right back to the previous setup that we had. You know, you could have your startup screen, countdown timers, so many different things you can do with these devices, guys. It is just literally amazing, all the things we can do with the Ozbot devices. And like I said, I've been using Ozbot devices, guys, for over the last 4 years, if I'm not mistaken, almost as long as I've been streaming here on Amazon. So, you know, let me make sure I didn't miss anything from Alan. I think Alan is calling it a night. Alan is calling it a night. So everyone, please say thank you for Alan for stopping in tonight. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. So again, you know, the cameras that we mentioned, all of these things come in the bundle, including it comes with a USB to Ethernet connector cables that you can use for connecting different devices to this. But you guys can check out the product page. It kind of runs down everything that comes in the bundle. Now, the bundle itself is $28.23. It does come with some cases. Everything has its own little case that you can, put everything away in, and then, put them in a backpack or a larger, Pelican style case or something like that. When you take these things out on the road, this is going to be a win. Now, I have a couple of cables that I have listed here in the carousel, but I'm going to skip over those and I'm going to come back to those in a second. And we're going to talk about this camera right here because it's already on the desk. Now, this camera right here, guys, is one of the newest cameras from Ozbot. This is the Ozbot Tail 2. Now, this is also a PTZ camera, but this is a PTZ-R camera. So what does the R mean? The R means rotate. That means that if I wanted to stream with this camera onto Instagram or onto TikTok, I would not have to turn the camera sideways. The inner mechanism of the camera can rotate internally, and then I'd be able to, stream with this. I can also record with this. Now, this one has a lot of connection points. You have your line in, you have your mic in, you have your RS-232s. This is going to be for your PTZ controller. Full-size HDMI, where the other camera that we just looked at only has the micro HDMI. You have SDI on here. You have Ethernet on here as well. You also have a USB for UVC. That means you're going to connect this to a computer. You also have your power input, which is also an additional USB-C here as well. You can install an SD card directly into this guy and record internally. The tracking on this thing is amazing. So it's probably already looking at me. Let me switch on right here. And this is also connected to this device wirelessly. And let me switch over to number 3 camera, which that's what I have it set up as. And now you guys can see me there on the screen right about here. And there we go. All of these cameras, they all interact very well together. Ozbot, like I said, guys, has just been knocking it out of the park when it comes to amazing tech, making it super, super easy for us live streamers, us content creators, whatever the case is going to be. They have a product for you, whether you're trying to set up something for your church, for your small business, for your kids' ball game or events or something like that. I'm telling you guys, definitely check these products out. Now, they have a variety of other cameras. We'll get to those here in a second, but I want to show you guys something really quickly here. Let me find these cables. So I have 2 cables here from our friends over at Ugreen, okay? So the first cable that we have is this HDMI to USB-C cable that you see right here, and then we have the female, which is a capture card that also has a USB-A/USB-C connector right here. This is what I use when I connect my controller for my drone to my iPad, but you can use the same combination of cables to connect other things to other things. Now, of course, if I want to connect, my controller to something like the InStream or the Talent, I can just use the standard HDMI and then plug the USB into the controller. When we get to the drone, this will all make sense. But I definitely wanted to show you guys these cables. They're not very expensive. Like this cable right here is currently $18.99, and the capture card is only $19.99. So even if you don't need this cable, a lot of people can benefit from these capture cards, because this is going to allow you to connect your regular cameras to your computer and be able to live stream with them, or of course connected to something like this Talent that we have here. So these little cables do really come in handy, and they're not going to break the bank. They're going to give you a lot of flexibility. So definitely check these guys out. All right, so let's keep rolling. All right, so other cameras that we have from Ozbot, and then I'll show you guys what we created with the laser real quick here. So I'm just going to get through all of these Ozbot cameras. So we have 2 other cameras here from our friends over at Ozbot. We have the Tiny 2 SE and we have the Tiny 2 Lite. Now, the Tiny 2 SE is a 1080p PTZ camera. All of these cameras we talked about so far are PTZ cameras. That means they can pan, they can tilt, and they can also zoom. They will respond to gesture controls. So like they have some AI features where you can use hand gestures to get the camera to zoom in or to track you or whatever the case is going to be. Now these cameras do have built-in microphones. This camera right here does not have a built-in microphone. This one you will have to provide your own audio with it, but most of the other cameras like these will have built-in microphones if you so choose to use those. Now to connect these, all you need is your USB-C connector here. Connect that to your computer, Mac, PC, connect it to something like the Talent, or some tablets like iPads, now can support, webcams. So you can plug one of these guys in. Now this is the 1080p version of this camera. And this one, which is an Osbot Tiny 2 Lite. This is the 4K version of it. And the easy way to tell the difference between the two cameras is you'll see they have this little red ring around the lens housing here. That is your 4K variant, and you'll see that across the board with a lot of Osbot cameras. Most of the cameras that are 4K are going to have that little red ring on here. But pretty much everything else that I mentioned about the SE is similar here on the Tiny 2 Lite. You have this little flip out section here where you can mount this on top of a monitor. You have a 1/4-20 underneath here that you can mount this onto a tripod or a light stand or whatever it is, a magic arm, whatever you want to do, however you want to mount this. You can mount the camera facing down. You can mount it facing, obviously you, if you are, recording yourself. Thor at the door is in the house. Welcome, Thor. Welcome to the stream. Now, like I said, to connect these is really easy. You're just going to take a USB cable and just plug it into whatever device you want to use it with. No problems there. So as you guys can see, we have a lot of travel-friendly cameras that we'll be able to connect and use and take out on location, take to the park, take to the beach, take to church, take to school. And just so many different things you can do with these cameras, guys. So definitely check these out. If you have any questions whatsoever about any of these cameras, drop it down in the comments. Now, another camera that I use a lot here in the studio is this little guy right here. This is a camera from our friends over at DJI. This is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Now, this also is a PTZ camera, but it doesn't have the wireless features or the remote control that the others have, or gesture controls and stuff like that. But it does have a built-in screen. This has a little, I think it's like a 3.3 by 1 inch screen on here. This can also do 4K 60. Now, if you get the bundle that's listed down in the carousel, it will come with a remote. I'm sorry, not a remote. It will come with a microphone. This is the DJI Mic 2. So this is a Bluetooth microphone that pairs up with this camera. So you really won't have to worry about, having a microphone like this guy here on my desk or something else. It just works. It just works perfectly. And this is the microphone that I use almost every single day when I use this camera to create content, whatever it's going to be. Now, I also have a little cage on here. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but this has a little, let me show you here. You have this little flap here on the back where you can let this down. This is magnetic. You also have your GoPro style little mounts on here, so you can mount this on like a little GoPro mount. The magnet is really strong, so anything that is metal, that a magnet can stick to, you can literally just stick this camera right to it, and you can record yourself. You can, obviously turn the camera in the right direction, and you can set this camera up to be able to record you, face track you, all of that kind of cool jazz. And yeah, the little cages and things like that really come in handy. Now, the Osmo Pocket 3 with the microphone is currently $979 listed here on Amazon, so definitely check that out. What I love about this microphone, it can also do 32-bit float, so that is a very high quality audio file. So for those of my audiophiles out there who do a lot of editing for audios and podcasts and all that kind of stuff, you're going to have a lot of flexibility with the audio that this little guy can record, and you can set it to backup record. So even though you're recording into the camera, it's receiving audio from the microphone. You can also have the microphone record internally. So it's going to record internally, and it's going to record into the video file that's going to be saved on the device. So trust me, that really comes in handy. So definitely take a look at this guy. I am a huge fan of this little cage. Like I said, I use that all the time to be able to quickly mount this camera at different places, top down, or on a mounting it on a light stand, a metal light stand. All of those things come in super clutch. Hey, is the Super Bowl? Hey, is Rome knows the Super Bowl? When is the Super Bowl? When is the Super Bowl? Am I missing something? Am I missing something today? Is there a Super Bowl? Because I'm not a huge sports fan. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, off the jump, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. All right, let's turn off some of these Ozbot cameras, because y'all already know if I don't turn these off right now, I will literally walk out of the studio and completely forget these are on, and the battery will run all the way down, and then I'll be in trouble because I'll grab one of these to demo it or something, and the battery will be dead. Okay, that one's turned off. All right, so we got our big boy over here on our desktop. So let's go over here real quick, and let's turn off some of these other things like this remote. Switch that off. And I can't remember if it was Hope or Renee or whoever it was that reminded me today that I needed to charge up everything for the studio, because they know they watch enough. They've seen too many times I try to demo something, and then and the batteries will run down because I forget to turn these things off. All right, so let's go ahead and power this guy off as well. There we go. Shut it down just like that. We are good. Hey, what are you guys gonna have for dinner tonight? Any plans? Any special plans? What are you guys making for dinner tonight? Inquiring minds would like to know. What's up, Thor? What's up? Alan says, PC Phil. PC Phil is in the house. PC Phil is in the house.
Welcome, PC Phil. Welcome to the stream, my brother.
All right, y'all, let's get to the next item in the carousel. Next item in the carousel is from our friends over at Anchor. These are the M650 wireless microphones. These are some microphones, guys, that I use all the time, especially when I am recording using my phone. I have the iPhone 16 Pro Max, I have the 14 Pro Max, and I have the 15 Pro Max. All of these phones, all of those phones, guys, I have used at one time or another with these microphones right here. Let's pop down here to our top down real quick. Yes, those lavalier mics are amazing. You are right. You are 100% right. All right, so what do you get? You get two omnidirectional microphones. You get the receiver. It has two adapters here, one for USB-C. You also get another adapter for your Lightning. So like my iPhone 14 Pro Max still has the Lightning connection. All of the newer iPhones have the USB-C, and these just clip on like that. You can just take those off. Now, of course, if I want to connect this to something like one of my big cameras, it has 3.5 here on the side. You have a USB here for charging this guy up or to connect to it. Yeah, you got a sync button over here. You guys can see it's showing the levels for both microphones at the same time. If I take one of these microphones out and I close the case, you'll see how it'll just switch over to just the one microphone. And what's cool about these microphones, guys, they also record internally. You have these nice little clips that can pop off. Now, these have the rare earth magnets, and they pop right back on like so. Now, these are just your standard clips. You can clip this onto your shirt, your tie, your blouse, whatever the case is going to be. You do have a record button. You have a feature where these can internally record. There's your microphone. Of course, you can plug in a standard lavalier. These covers on these are removable. So when you first purchase these microphones, they're actually going to come with two of the black covers like you see here, and then you'll get two additional covers if you go with the black variant. There's also a white variant of this as well, and that one will have two additional covers, lid covers that you can place on there. So these come in really, really handy. Noise cancellation, all of those features, and the case itself charges the microphones, guys. I'm telling you, this is a win, for anybody out there that's creating any type of content. You're going to be very, very happy with these microphones. And just like PC Phil just gave his endorsement, these are some amazing high quality microphones. Now, are these as good? Are these as good as using something like a dedicated microphone like this and a Rodecaster? No, of course not. Of course not. But can most people tell the difference if you're using something like this versus this? Probably not. And I'll tell you where they will tell the difference is if you are not using a dedicated microphone and you're relying on your phone or whatever camera that you're using, its internal microphone. I know everybody has seen somebody's live stream of some content somebody's created when they're standing in a room and you can hear that room tone and it sounds like they're a long way away from the camera. That's because they're reliant on the camera that's built into whatever device it is. And that could be a camera, it could be a phone, it could be whatever, okay? Now, if that's all you have, I say do what you do, boo-boo. Just get out there and create content. But if you're in a position where you can get better audio, I highly, highly recommend it. Invest in the best quality audio because I'm gonna tell you the secret, guys. People will watch your content. Even if the video is not high quality. We are literally streaming 720 on Amazon, YouTube, Facebook right now. Okay, it's not 1080p, it's not 4K, but it still looks pretty good. But as long as the audio is on point, when the audio is on
point, people gonna stick around, man. You know what I'm saying? They you know what? Look. Just listen to what I'm saying. Listen to me. Even if the audio is bad, you got a problem. If the audio's bad, you got a problem.
If the video could be 8K,
but you got some bad audio, boop, people are out of there. So make the investment, babies. Make the investment. Get yourself some good microphones. Get yourself some good microphones. Now, I know a bunch of you out there, like myself, love having devices like these over here. So like I said, this is my microphone that I use every single day. This is the Rode Procaster, and I use the Rodecaster Pro 2. I started off with the original Rodecaster. When the Rodecaster Pro 2 came on the market, I upgraded to that, and I've been using this guy ever since then. But this is a large setup to take with you out on location. You got microphone, XLR cables, mic stands. It is going to be cables galore, okay? Cables galore. And that might not be what you want in your setup. So let me give you guys another option. Check this out. So here is a little portable. Here's a little portable audio interface. Okay, now this is not much larger than the Osbot Talent we just took a look at. This, you can connect one XLR microphone to it. You can connect a instrument to it. You can also connect here on the front a USB device to this. You can connect a set of headphones to this. You can connect two other devices. That could be a phone, that could be some kind of audio device. These have, internal batteries. So you don't even have to have this plugged into anything for it to be able to work. And of course, you're just going to plug this into your computer, into your phone, your tablet, whatever, especially if you're doing some kind of little podcast or you're doing some type of little interview segments out there, where you have a desk and everything set up. This is going to be a win. You got your gain controls here, for your effects. You got gain controls for your treble, your bass, all of this right here, guys. You even have a de-esser built into this little guy. And this is from our friends over at Nearstream. You can get this little guy right here for only $79, guys. And it's down from $94.99. I'm telling you, this little guy is a win. So I look for things that I can easily travel, light with, minimalistic. This is a good combination here. It's going to look as professional as you can look out in the field without carrying, the bigger gear out there with you. This is a win. So definitely check this out as well. All right, let me see what PC Phil is saying here. I can't believe that they can reach and receive over 600 feet. He is talking about the M650 wireless microphones, and yes, they can reach up to 600 feet line of sight, provided there are no big obstacles in the way, like, you know, brick walls or big people. So I'm not standing in the way, blocking the signal or something like that. But yeah, for the most part, they are amazing, amazing devices. All right, so let's get back over to our laser and let's take a look at what we have inside of our M1 Ultra here, what we created today for Father's Day. Let's pop this up. Let's move this little piece of wood like so. And there we go. There we go. There it is. Let me take it over to the desk, give you guys a better look at this. All right, let's put that lid down. And let's go to our top-down view. All right, y'all. So here is our little Father's Day creation. There's the little crown, as you guys can see. It says Happy Father's Day, mustache. You can literally feel the depth that this engraved into the wood, okay? There's almost no scarring here on the back. There's a little bit because I think I had too many passes. We could have probably got away with 3 passes on this guy, but you guys can see how nice this came out. This could easily have been a keychain. It could be any number of things, you know, that you guys might want to make for someone in your life. You know, if you got students, maybe you want to make awards. Maybe you want to make awards for coworkers. You know, want to make things for your church, your small business, whatever the case it is, guys. I'm telling you, lasers are powerful, and you're only limited by your own creativity. You can really, really make some amazing things with these devices. And, you know, now with AI generated graphics, you know, throwing that stuff onto some acrylic or some metal, it is a win, guys. It's a win. All right, so that's what we created today. Here's something that we created not too long ago. Here's a little hot rod that we made out of some black acrylic. I think this was inspired by Richard. Here's something that was inspired by Terry. Here's some little penguins on here. There's a whole penguin family. Again, black acrylic. Yes, I'm out of acrylic. I'm out of acrylic, my babies. I got to get some more materials in here because, you know, I try to create something for you guys every single night. First person in the stream gets to choose whatever it is I'm going to create. So that's how we rock. All right. Let's take a look here at the next item that we have listed in the carousel. Now you guys can kind of see back here behind me, there's a couple of batteries and you can see the laser right here, and you can see kind of my desk setup. So I'm gonna grab this camera and first things first, let me turn a light on back here so you guys can really see what's going on back here. So the light that I'm gonna turn on is actually being powered by one of the batteries from Blue Yeti. So let me go ahead and switch this guy on, and let's go to our DC power. And this light should now come on. Or wait, no, my bad. AC power. I always get DC and AC mixed up every time. All right, so our light is now on. So let me switch to this camera angle so you guys can see. And everything that you see back here on this desk is powered in some form or another from this battery here, okay? So this battery right here, guys, is the AC2A from Blue Yeti. And we have an older Blue Yeti directly underneath it. Don't look at all the cables because there's cables everywhere. But I use these batteries every single day, guys, to charge up a lot of the gear that I have. I use it to power things like monitors. The light that I was just talking about, those lights are actually being powered off of this battery. You guys can see the plug right here. Now, what's cool about this battery, you have AC and DC power delivery. You can charge this guy off a universal AC plug, one of the 3-prong plugs. It just plugs in right here on the side. This is going to be a great little travel battery, built-in handle. You can charge these off of solar panels. So many different ways you can utilize these batteries. Camping, emergencies, you know, powering for backup for different, you know, gear that you're taking out with you. So, you know, charging up things like your microphones, your cameras, all of that gear. And yes, these batteries are powerful enough that I've actually used them to power some of these other lasers, like the LP5 over here, the LP4 laser that's over here, and even some of the bigger lasers back here. You guys can see the Akira back there and another laser on that back shelf back there as well. All of them have been efficiently powered off of nothing more than one of these 300-watt batteries. So I'm telling you guys, these things can get the job done. Definitely check it out. Price is great. You can get this battery right now here on Amazon, guys, for $139. $139, my babies. Yes, that is a win. But it is not my favorite Blue Yeti battery. I keep it real with y'all. You know this. You know I keep it real with y'all. It is not my favorite Blue Yeti battery, okay? My favorite Blue Yeti battery, okay, is this right here. This is the hands-free one. Yes, there is also a hands-free 2, but this is a backpack with a 300-watt battery housed inside of it. You got AC and DC power delivery. You have nice little cup holders here on the side. You have a lot of storage space right here in the front. You have two panels here, or two sections here, that you can also keep a lot of your things when you're traveling. Now I have this one set up for my drone. Let me show you guys here. So I have the pull foam like this set up for my drone, where I can put the drone in, the controller. I can put the the battery charger. All of that stuff fits right in here. I got a section right in front of that where I can put cameras, lenses, clothes, if I'm gonna be, overnight somewhere. So all of these things fit perfectly in this backpack, guys. This is gonna be a great little backpack as a bug out bag. If you gotta get out of Dodge, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you gotta get down and boogie and you need to be able to throw some stuff in a backpack, and you're always gonna need power. You're always gonna need power. Power your radios, power your lights, charge up your emergency flashlights, whatever it is you got out there in the world that you need to be able to, give it a little juice when you need it. You know what I'm saying? There you go. That backpack is going to be a win. A win. Yes, I got smaller portable batteries I can easily throw in a backpack. Brands send me a lot of these things, like these little small batteries like this, or these little batteries like this. I could easily throw these into a backpack or whatever the case it is. But to both of these combined still don't come to 300 watts, okay? Both of these combined still can't easily charge off of a solar panel. I could have a little small solar panel that I could have, in the backpack, ready to go, to charge this up when I'm out. Just leave the, solar panel exposed to the sun, and it could be charging even while I'm using the battery, guys. That's a win. All right, so I mentioned my drone. So where is my drone? There it is. Hold on, let me get it. Let me so here is, let me grab the controller. All right, so here is the drone that I was just talking about. This is the DJI Air 3S. This is my work drone. This is my leisure drone. So I use this for professional jobs as well as I use it for recreational stuff. This drone can fly up to 60 miles an hour, record 4K, up to 60 frames a second, slow motion up to 120 frames a second. It's got a bunch of presets built into it as well that you can control through this controller, the RC2 controller. You can also use other controllers, but this is the one that I recommend if you're going to go with the bundle. I was sent the Fly More combo, which comes with the 3 batteries as well as the charger. This drone, guys, has 2 lenses. You have a 70 millimeter and a 24 millimeter 1-inch sensor on this guy. So you got a larger sensor on this drone than some cameras that people are using. Then, of course, you have this controller. Now, the controller, what's so cool about that is that, you have a 5.5-inch screen. You're able to do a ton of different things with this. You can see exactly what the drone is doing when it's in flight because you got the nice screen built into this. And just recently, I think it was this week, we got a new firmware update for this controller that now allows you to fly a simulator. So a new drone from DJI just came out, which is the Mavic 4 Pro, which is this upgrade to this, or this drone here is Big Brother. And you can now fly that drone simulator right here on this guy. So let me see if I can connect everything real quick here. I need those 2 cables that I was just talking about. So those two cables that we were talking about earlier, one being the capture card, the other one being this cable right here, allows me to connect the controller to my computer and show you guys the simulator. So let's go ahead and get that done. All right, so let me connect everything to my computer and then see if we can get the controller to turn on, and I'll be able to show you guys what this